Who's turned on that I listen to the Tim Ferriss podcast?
Oh, I'm looking at the arms. I'm about to see her too, like, it's like, oh, it's coming. Did you fart? So you about to ask some crazy questions, huh?
Hi besties! You guys are always asking me for relationship advice and how to avoid toxic men and find a secure man. And I thought, what better way to give you guys advice than to have a secure man here himself. And not just any man, but my green flag boyfriend. You wanna introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Junie. I'm Char's boyfriend.
He is a certified green flag because he's not only Char approved, but he's family approved and friend approved. Based on his answers, you guys can see if he is your approved man as well. He's also really nervous right now because he doesn't want to say the wrong thing. So if that doesn't show that he's a golden retriever, then I don't know what does. I had you guys send in questions that girls are usually too afraid to ask guys, or what you would want to know from a guy's perspective. I also had you guys ask questions about us in general and our relationship. Are you scared?
Let's do it!
How did we meet and what did we see in each other?
We first met through our parents.
Yeah.
We're both from Missouri. They introduced us at a like sort of family gathering. That's when I first met you.
Yeah. We were friends for a year before we started dating. What do you think you first saw in me?
It was so like organic in the sense that I think like my mom was trying to help me. I was just starting Sochi Beauty then. Char's mom told my mom, okay, my daughter's actually doing a lot of social media content. Coming from that perspective. And
Okay, that doesn't answer what you saw in me.
I think what stood out to me when we first met, just felt like the connection was very natural. I felt like you were very curious to learn more. Talking to you was so easy, and I felt like it's not really easy to find people to talk that naturally to.
I think for me, he was very in touch with himself. I remember we related a lot about journaling, and I was like, ooh, he's so emotionally mature. He was turned on that I listened to the Tim Ferriss podcast.
Bruh.
What do you think a relationship should be like in the early stages?
When I first started dating, it was more about like attraction. It was more about, oh, do I like this person or not? As I got older, yes, like attraction is important, but also like immediately how they align with my values, attitudes and mindsets on life. Not necessarily like figuring out exactly she's got to have this or I got to have this. Like a balance of those deeper topics of what is important to you and like why are you dating this person, with like obviously having a good time.
Wow, that was perfectly said, baby. In the beginning of a relationship, obviously it's fun.
Oh my god, I'm flattered. High five.
It's all kind of like butterflies fairy tale, but I think it's the most important time to kind of say what you need in a relationship. You don't want to get so deep in a relationship and then figure out and then realize your values don't match, because that's when it becomes harder to leave.
I agree, and I feel like it probably like evolves, right? For instance. Yeah, never mind.
What?
Yeah, alright.
Is it okay if a girl doesn't shave her arms and has acne?
I mean, yeah. Like, I don't think like that's like, oh, I'm looking at the arms. I don't think acne too is like a big thing. Like everyone literally has acne. Like so many people have acne. It's also something that like people are very like self-conscious of. Judging someone on just acne isn't really like very holistic viewpoint of someone.
How do guys feel when they have a crush on someone?
When I would go pick Char up from the airport, it was just sort of like that feeling where when I'm about to see her too, like it's like, oh, it's coming. Also, just like she's on your mind a lot before you're going to bed, or maybe just kind of moments throughout the day, you're kind of thinking about this person. I also think you get nervous.
Do you feel like you talk about it with your friends? Because I feel like when girls have crushes, they talk about it with everyone. Every time you message me, I would probably show it to all my friends.
As I think my feelings intensified, that's when, yes, I also consulted a few.
Is it okay to share traumatic experiences about your past relationships to your current relationship?
Ooh, it should be okay, because you should feel comfortable to talk about pretty much anything with your partner, right? If that's like a serious relationship, you're having a balance, right? Like you don't necessarily like put all this emotional trauma or kind of like anxiety on someone. I don't know if that's like necessarily like the fair expectation, but I do think you should feel comfortable like telling them about previous experiences.
This is very relevant to our relationship. I've been in a lot of toxic relationships. For him to understand why I feel the way that I do, it's easier for me to just tell him, you know, this is what I went through. I think also if you keep trying to dance around the subject, then it becomes more awkward. This is a good one. Tips on how we keep our relationship healthy.
Constantly checking in on what each other's needs are and like each other's goals are. Kind of be the best versions of each other, right? And push each other to be the best versions of each other. One thing that comes to mind that Shar and I have done is creating a vision board.
Yeah.
We created a vision board for our relationship. What does the best version of our relationship look like? It was fun. It was like, I think
Yeah,
it was
it's
like a
actually
date
really fun.
night.
What?
Did you fart?
That out really slowly.
Oh my god. I was literally answering this question and then I was like, so.
I didn't even feel it come out, it just came out.
That's
Can you
okay, BBQ over there.
Can you still smell it? Just answer the question, it's
Just
fine.
leaked out. Where was I? Oh, vision board. Relationship vision board.
I think the biggest thing is just both people have mutual respect for each other and the relationship. Like if you don't respect the other person or you don't feel respected by someone, you're not gonna respect them. That seems like a very easy thing, but I think it can also get very lost easily. People like to just think about themselves. Once you get into the relationship, you need to recognize it's not going to be 100% just you anymore. And if you're not ready for that, then you should be in a relationship. How often do we argue?
I don't know if I'm counting. I don't have an argument tracker here. I don't know, maybe like a couple times a month. There's like... I don't know if there's like anything huge, right? But like there's some like obviously emotions that flare up. The point isn't like how many times we argue, it's more so like do we end up resolving it somehow where both people feel understood?
I don't even think that you could call them arguments because I feel like when people imagine arguing with your partner, you think like, oh, you're yelling at each other. We just have emotionally intense conversations.
That's a good way to put it.
That's what hurts relationships a lot is when you do just fight and yell. Because when you feel hurt, all you want to do is blame someone. What we try to do is just try to say how we feel and hear the other person out and come to a compromise or a solution. It's always during my period.
Or the luteal phase.
Yeah.
Right, fellas? You show up, you listen. Keyword, you listen.
Do guys like to gossip just like girls?
I would say like less so, but I feel like maybe the reactions from guys is also different from girls, right? Like, oh
we
my
get so
God.
involved. When girls gossip, we know every single detail, but whenever you ask guys for the tea, they only know like one thing.
You kind of get the general idea and you sort of move on.
We have a different way of thinking. Like we're just way too intuitive and like we read into things a lot, but then guys are just like
Just simple guys.
simple.
Simpleton.
What?
Just like slowly let out a fart.
This one was a question I received a lot. How do guys feel about their first love?
First love as in like a crush when you're really
No,
young?
like just first person you were in love with.
Oh, like you said, I love you too. That's not your mom.
Yeah, it's not your mom.
First love is like a very important kind of moment, right, in your life. You sort of understand the, I think, importance of that feeling. The feelings of that relationship, you know, obviously are different now. Both people have moved on. How do you feel about that?
Huh?
Well, how do you think of it?
Like first love?
Yeah.
I feel like it's different for me. My relationship didn't end well. Something that I appreciate because it's something I learned a lot about.
I think it varies, but yeah, like it's overall like a memory.
Yeah, easy. Is it really annoying when girls take too long to get ready?
I think at first it took some time for me to get used to.
When we first started dating though, I took a really long time to get ready and it would take me almost 3 hours. I think I really cut it down though.
Yeah, you have like, how long is it now? Like 2.5?
No, it's like an hour now.
I think I just like sort of rearrange my schedule. It doesn't really like impact me as much.
I think it's only annoying if you had plans and then because someone is taking too long to get ready, you're really late.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think that's
that would be
annoying because that would annoy me a lot. If I know that I'm gonna take a long time to get ready, I make sure I get ready early. What are the ways that guys show hints to girls when they like them?
They just give more attention. Text you more, compliment you even a little bit more. Like, oh, I
Why'd you look at me up and down like that? You were like,
Those
oh,
are-
I love.
There's like maybe some kind of tension even, like, ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they ask you out to dinner. If they're just friends, right? Like maybe they'll cover the bill.
It's so confusing to tell if he liked me because he would cover the bill every time, but he wouldn't say that he's covering the bill. Like you would be like, oh yeah, you can just Venmo me later, and then you would never like request me or give me your Venmo.
Guys sometimes just want to like play it off, like very chill. But no, that I could see that is a little confusing.
Do you believe in the saying, if he wanted to, he would? Do you know
I
what that
think
is?
so.
Okay.
I think sometimes they need a little guidance on what it is.
You should feel some type of support and security from someone, because I remember always hearing that, like, if he likes you, you would just know, and I never understood that for so long. I was like, I don't get how you would just know.
If either party would, they would.
Either party wanted to,
They would.
What do you think a good first date spot is?
I feel like the first date is always sort of like, is this person legit? Are they the person that they portray themselves to be? Whether like you're coming from a dating app or you're just texting and you have this mental image of that person, right? I don't know if the first date has to be anything like super crazy. Maybe even getting a coffee at somewhere that's like nice. Or even going on like a stroll, right?
Yeah.
And like grabbing a drink.
I honestly do not like dinner dates as a first date, because I feel like it's so awkward. You're so focused on like other things, like, oh, what should I order? Like, oh, do I have
Right.
food in my mouth? What is your favorite activity to do long distance? Because we are long distance.
Long distance is, I will say, number one, very hard. Even if you FaceTime or you call, the feeling of
It's just not
presence
the
isn't the
same.
same. I love our little teleparties.
I was gonna say that I love that.
Movie or show dates, and you watch them together. You pause during the movie, you kind of like
Yeah.
talk.
I guess the other one is when we would like send each other little care packages. It makes you feel like you're together even though you're not.
Yeah, that's a good one, guys, fellas. Thinking about her, she's maybe feeling down. Send some flowers, send something. Venmo her like $15. Just go buy a coffee, go buy a pastry. Fellas and girls.
What is our MBTI?
Mine's
Remember?
ENFJ.
Yeah, I'm the same, but I think I'm more I. I'm like 50 something percent E, 40 something percent I.
Yeah, I'm definitely extroverted.
He's very extroverted.
I feel like you like to socialize, but you need your time to recharge.
He likes to do something every single day.
Not every
He
single day.
doesn't understand the concept of like rotting in bed
I rot. I rot maybe like for
for like an hour. And not that anybody asked, but I'm a Scorpio and he's a Virgo. Oh my god, I love this one. What's it like to date such a gorgeous girl?
gorgeous on the inside, gorgeous on the outside. On her worst days, she still shows up.
I have to. What do you mean I show up? Next question, do you date to marry?
Yeah. Yes. I'm very like a long-term oriented person. I'm looking for a partner. And I'm looking at her right now.
Oh, you're crazy. What?
You okay?
Ooh, this is a good one and very relevant because we literally just talked about this yesterday. How do we distribute our expenses?
I think it's a very important combo to have. It like also varies to like, oh, like are you maybe living with each other, or maybe are you just starting the relationship out? I think when we first were dating, for the most part, I'd cover like a lot, like most of things. Now that Char's like living in LA, split like the groceries. When we like go out for like dinner or like dates, I'll still like cover most of those. When we travel though, like we usually like
Split.
finances and money like always can be stressful, especially from like immigrant households. Ooh, one more. It's time for the final question. Oh, these could be good transitions. All right, next question coming up. Okay, next question. That was a good one. All right, we're ready for our next question.
What advice do you give to younger people in relationships?
I got two for this one. Find someone that shares the same values as you. You're still searching for someone, you're trying to find that person. Don't get too bogged down, right, and sad. It is really hard. Love just comes out of nowhere and you find it. That's sort of what happened with Shar and I had been single for almost 3 years. I was so lucky to meet someone like Shar and have her share the same values as me. The second one is maybe applicable to those like early in a relationship. It's this quote, and I'll tell you what it is. You like because, and you love despite. I think it's from the movie.
Set it up. We love that movie in this household.
It's a great movie. I think it's so true.
Okay, mine is you just cannot control anything. Like you cannot control other people's actions. I feel like when you first get into a relationship, you just kind of have this feeling like you want everything to go perfectly. People can change literally like this. Even like for people who are in long-term relationships or even married, don't feel pressured. You feel like you have to stay in a relationship just because of all the time and energy you put in it.
What's that one inspirational song that you put on in the background?
Okay, I'll add it in during this. Why are you picking your ear?
When you think about past people, you end up understanding like what you really value and what you really love. And I think that's what makes someone so special. I think that's what makes you so special. You share so many of the things and values that I love and that I want to build together with you. And because of that, like all those other small things I don't care about.
Thank you for that. I'll put the inspirational music behind that. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you want to see more videos with us, then make sure to like and subscribe and comment below what videos you would want to watch from us. Bye!
Bye.